Good evening and salutations, my Jade fans. Let's start off with Lucy for a minute. This woman must be in her late 50s, early 60s, right? She is literally having a temper tantrum, a meltdown because she can't sit there and be there for the nurse's ball. She can't be the one to sit there and plan it and organize it. I'm like, Lucy, you do understand that the world thinks that you're dead and we need you to stay dead in order to take out this threat that is affecting, well, everyone that you know and love. I don't understand that. She literally is about to just walk out and just be like, nope, I gotta be there. And then what annoys me about her is that she tries to make it seem like the nurse's balls was all success because of her and her alone. Like the ego in this woman is just mind blowing. She honestly, she really feels that if she's not there, the nurse's ball is just going to fail. It's just not going to be a success. And I'm like, you do realize that there are other people that is behind the scenes that is working very hard and very tirelessly to make this thing work. But according to her, no, it was just my presence alone. And so they tell her all the reasons why she can't go. Once again, she stops her feet. She pretty much acts like a 10-year-old and then walks away. And then Anna starts walking back a lot of her comments like, oh, well, I understand where she's coming from. And I was like, no. We're not going to sit there and feed into that BS. Okay? Um, because my feelings on the nurse's ball, what my feelings on those is that I feel like they're fillers and they just distract me from the meat of the story. I know a lot of people, they care about the performances and the causes, and don't get me wrong, the cause is great. I don't really care about the performances, though. But I understand what it I understand what it stands for. Um, and maybe in some sort of way, Anna was kind of yelling at her, like she didn't get, like she was trying to demean her role, because to Anna it does mean a lot. Robin and everything like that, and Valentine understands that, but I'm just like, this isn't about y'all making it seem like it's a trivial thing. This is about literally putting your foot down and be like, you can't go because Victor thinks that you're dead. That's literally what this is about. So this whole song and dance and to talk about, yeah, well, I understand where she's coming from, and it seemed like it was a lot of exposition for little to no reason. Like, not one of them should actually felt bad about the way they're handling Lucy. Okay, Lucy is a grown ass woman. Point blank. Period. Okay. I understand the nurse's ball is important to her, and I'm not just saying that she's not contributing. She's not a contributor to it and to its success. But let's not sit there and try to act like she's the only person. I don't understand this whole Cody woe is me thing. Okay. For a good hour, this is after Dante finds out the truth about Cody, not telling Mac, pretty much using Britt to get the necklace, thinking of his birthright and everything like that, and his financial woes. There's one point where Dante is like, well, maybe Sam was right about you. And he tells him to come clean. He's like, you know what, listen, just come clean. He's like, I will. It's like, no. You need to come clean all the way. You need to sit there and fess up about how you lied, all of it. And they go back and forth for like 20 minutes. Cody be like, oh, I just don't think it's a good idea. I mean, I'm not really good for his life. I don't think I deserve him, and this, and that, and the third. And he just kept going back and forth, and after a while, it's like, oh my goodness, if I wasn't at a review, I would have fast forward past this scene because it just got obnoxious. It just got obnoxious. I understand that He feels like he's not a good person. He doesn't deserve a good person like him in his life. After about a good 20 minutes of it, I was just kind of like, all right, bro, maybe you don't. Can we just like move past the scene because this is starting to annoy the living hell out of me. I do think he deserves a good person in his life, but just constant back and forth and whining just got on my nerves. Been a lot of that going on lately. Just the whole whining trip. I wasn't putting up with it from Trina, and I'm damn sure not going to put up with it from Cody. Um, Victor finds out from Finn that most likely somebody intended to poison him with it, and it's not something that he could just get away. I actually tell you the truth. Finn was like, "Yeah, this damage or whatever it caused is permanent," and I'm not gonna lie, Victor is a very bad person. Okay, point blank. Period. He is a bad person. He deserves all the karma and smoke that he gets. But hearing that his game in the bedroom is going to be Jack for the rest of his life, as a man, kind of felt that one. Not gonna lie, kind of felt that one. Yes, he deserves it, but I felt that. Let's just put it that way. So he decides to go to the bar and make sure that he does not get, like anything poured in, like, yo, listen, give me a new bottle. I'm good. Meanwhile, you got Laura, you got Felicia Smith there saying to Mac that Cody feels like family and that, they should try to help him out. Because, Mac and Smith, they're talking about, yeah, I had a really good visit with Cody and he even gave me some advice about Kevin, but then it went south, and I think it has a lot to do with money and him selling his plasma. And I'm like, and I did forget about that because I was like, at first I was like, plasma, huh? I don't know. At first, when he said it so fast, he was like, plasma. I was like, you mean, you mean okay, I thought you was, okay, cool. I just want to, which I heard is a very rigorous process. The other thing I was sitting there thinking that that's what he sold, from what I read. Hey, I was curious. Um, But honestly, to tell you the truth, I decided not to do that because, yeah. I'm like, listen, you might actually got some money and paid now, but like 20, 30 years, you may get a knock on your door. And, yeah. So I decided not to do that. But, how was I actually going with that? I feel like I just lost track what I was originally intending to say. Anyway, at some point, Laura gets there. Laura turns down Drew, from selling the shares. And at first Drew was like, yo, is there a real reason? I mean, because Valentine's dead. And of course, Laura's like, well, Charlotte's still alive, and Charlotte may want to sit there and use it how she sees fit. So, can't do it. But at some point, she does go up to Mac and Felicia. And at some point, Victor walks in there. Victor um, starts side-eyeing Laura hard, right? And remembers the threat, or more than one threat apparently, that Laura made towards him. So he's like, oh, okay, she did it. He walks up to her, he's like, yeah, you did this. Laura's like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, you didn't want to just destroy me, you want to sit there and humiliate me. And of course, Laura's like, bro, right now I actually have to do much as far as humiliating you because you got that already covered. And then Victor just straight up threatens her and eventually walks away. Or he didn't. I don't exactly remember if he walked away, but he did threaten her in front of Felicia and Mac, because he got up in her face, and Mac was just like, honestly, tell you, I'm surprised Mac just being like, yo, you need to kind of just take a couple of feet back, like that's what you need to do. Um, but he made a threat, and then that pretty much kind of ended that. Um, M- Maxie, Bobby, and Brooklyn are talking about the Metro Grid, and they're kind of like all up in a buzz or whatever about where they're going to be able to host it and stuff like that. And Carly comes in there. Carly's like, "What's going on?" And Maxie's like, "We don't have a place to host it. We can use the hotel, but we got to get Nina's approval." They all sit there and look at each other like Nina's going to sit there and say no. And I'm just like, listen, as much as I don't like Nina, Nina is not that heartless. She may be a lot of things, but as far as hosting the nurses ball, she's not that heartless. So I was just kind of surprised. It was like, oh, well, Nina sit there and say yes. I was like, well, why wouldn't she say yes for it? Like, you really think she's going to sit there and say no just to stick it to you? Like, Carly, I mean, you're worth it. I just, then again, I'm sitting there thinking that she probably will sit there and tell the FCC and destroy her relationship with Willow and Wiley. So maybe revenge is worth it, but on that scale, no, no. So yeah, I just go right back to why didn't they not think that she would say yes? And she does walk in there, and they talk around and they dance around, and Nina's like, yeah, I'll host it. I'm cool with it. So Maxie leaves. Um, and Nina's like, I want to have a talk with Carly. And at this point, this I didn't understand because Carly's like, all right, so what's going on? She's like, oh, just about Willow's and her health or whatever. Um, I talk to her and she gives me health updates and stuff like that, and I'm just like, where is this going? I really didn't understand that part of it. And the sad part is that it like her talking to her one on one made no sense. And of course, Drew came in there and they go back and forth. And all the setup really was for Nina to sit there threatening Carly, being like, I know more than you think I do. And she walks off, and Carly's like she's about to go right at her, like, start ripping her hair out and stuff. And, I mean, that's what it was set up for. But I was just like, was there really a reason for you to sit there and get her alone to sit there and talk to her about, Willow? Because that made zero sense to me. So after Sonny and everyone, takes down the shooter or whatever, Sonny tries to interrogate. Brick gets there and the doctor gets there, but whatever doctor that they called, but of course, the guy dies and they don't really get anything from it. Brick towards the end kind of surmises that whoever this guy is, he's a ghost. They can't really do as much as far as tracing him, his background, or anything like that. So, Brick is like, whoever you're dealing with, he's definitely a powerful person. He also doesn't trust Dex, even though Dex saved his life, Sonny's life. Sonny was there speaking up for him, like, "Yo, listen, if he didn't push me out the way, I would have been dead." And Sonny even advised him to stay with him. So he got in his good graces. Anyway, I feel like that's about it for the most part. I can't really think of anything else to happen. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.